Howdy YouTube and welcome to a video by the Unlucky Lads. This will detail the raid intel skips and black box locations on critical, regular and low for the raid starting on the 14th of November running through to the 20th of November, which is Project Titan week 208. We hope you'll continue to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, or even gift us $1 for pizza using the donation link in our description, because any support you give us genuinely drives us to make these early raid intel videos, which allows you to quickly complete the raids and collect the black boxes as soon as the Project Titan week begins. For critical this week, the modifiers will be Friendly Fire, Juggler, and 3 Hearts. So using the intel skips you can begin by pressing the 4 nodes at Ancient Harbour. This will give you access to Baal at the chemical refinery, and beating this boss will allow you to move into Sector 2. Gargoyle requires 2 intels at Forgotten Sanctuary, plus a further 1 intel at Missile Site Ruins. Then you can interrogate the guy on the roof at Camp Phoenix, before finally inputting the password he gives you into the node at Testing Zone, where you can also fight Gargoyle. For Supercomputer you just need to hack and defend the node at Salamander. Then you can fight Quantum at the building in the sea. With the 2 Titans in Sector 2 destroyed, you can head into Sector 3. Cerberus requires 2 intels at Red Phoenix, and a further 2 intels at Scandium Mine, one using your drone in B2, and the other is a pickup. Next you need to destroy 3 panels at Prototype Workshop, before finally putting 4 hands-on nodes at No Man's Land. This will give you access to Cerberus at the top of Lava Shield, where you can complete the critical raid. And if you're looking for the black boxes on critical this week, there's 1 in Sector 1 at Heliport, then there'll be 2 boxes in Sector 2, the first at Camp Phoenix and the other at Salamander, and finally there's 2 more in Sector 3, the first at Prototype Workshop with the last one at No Man's Land. In summary, the modifiers can be a little problematic at times this week, we think, mainly because of the inclusion of Friendly Fire, which in the wrong squad can really slow down a raid, so do be careful of this modifier, and if you want to save time, try to ignore those that accidentally down you. Next up is Juggler, and although it can sometimes be annoying if you forget to switch guns, there are plenty of ways to make this modifier a bit easier, such as guns with the same ammo type, using gear with extra ammo, or even visiting a bivouac during the raid. Finally, there's 3 Hearts, which hopefully most teams can forget about, because it's not often going to cause huge issues. If you do happen to be out of hearts while gathering intel, and then you go down, you can always quit and rejoin the raid to save a bit of time. As for the intel trail, it's probably a little longer than last week's raid, or at best about the same length. But on the positive side, we think the modifiers should at least be a little easier compared to last week's, so you may find your overall time just slightly quicker, at about the 1 hour 15 minute mark. Taking a deeper dive into the intel trail, and Sector 1 just requires nodes to be pressed, albeit at a base with mines on the floor, so try to remember that, especially on the way out. Next up is Sector 2, and it may make more sense to do the hack at Salamander to unlock Supercomputer first. This is because most squads prefer defending the node together. Then, for Gargoyle, the intel involves running all around this part of the map, so to save some time you could consider splitting up the squad if you feel confident in your ability. Finally, for Sector 3 you'll again see there's a lot to do, so it can be prudent to send a different player to each base in this sector. Although, as we've said before, sticking in 2s can sometimes be quicker, because if a player goes down at least they have a teammate there to help. Good luck this week, but if you do run into any problems please comment below and we'll try to help out, so you can finish the raid and earn those rewards. Moving on to regular and low, there are no modifiers and it does just use last week's critical intel and black box locations. You'll need to begin by grabbing 1 intel at the abandoned site to the west of Golem Island, also known as the fishing village. Once you have that you can input the password into the node at the top of Chemical Pipeline, which will open up Baal at the chemical refinery. And after you've beaten the Tank Titan you can head into Sector 2. Gargoyle requires 2 intels at Salamander, then the interrogation of the sniper at Camp Phoenix, and lastly inputting the password he gives you into the node at Testing Zone. And Supercomputer just requires the 4 nodes at Missile Site Ruins to be pressed together. Once you've beaten Gargoyle at Testing Zone, and Supercomputer at the building in the sea, you can move into Sector 3. For Cerberus this week, you'll need 2 intels at Prototype Workshop, before getting a further 1 intel at Traces of Ancient Ruins, which is the cave next to Scandium Mine. Then you can interrogate the bandage guy at Red Phoenix, before inputting the password he gives you into the node at the top of Lava Duct. Once you've done all of that, you'll have access to Cerberus at the top of Lava Shield, where you can complete the regular or low raids. And if you're looking for the black boxes on regular and low this week, there are 2 in Sector 1. The first at Satellite Dish and the other is at Chemical Pipeline. Then there'll be 2 boxes in Sector 2, the first at Camp Phoenix and the other being at Missile Site Ruins. And finally there's 2 more boxes in Sector 3, the first at Prototype Workshop, with the last one at Lava Duct. That's all for now. We hope you've enjoyed our Intel and Black Box video enough to leave a like and comment, plus subscribe or donate if you haven't already. Although no pressure, because it's all of your support combined that genuinely drives us to make our content. So until next time, peace out, the unlucky lads.